Hey, my name is Clint Arthur, and this is an executive presentation for doctors, financial advisors, lawyers, CEOs, entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, coaches, consultants, experts. Those are my clients, and this is not full of BS. This is a to-the-point presentation because I know you're busy, I respect your time, and I'm not going to waste 1 second of your time.
Clint Arthur is here, business expert, author of 21 Performance Secrets of Donald Trump, and what they teach you at Wharton Business School.
If this was going to be the last year of your life, what would you want to accomplish?
Let me introduce you to the man that taught me.
With me now to break it down, leadership and performance expert Clint Arthur.
This is our new best friend here, Clint Arthur.
Clint Arthur.
Clint Arthur. Clint Arthur, who made a living off of teaching other people to be better public speakers.
NASDAQ, what an honor to be with you here today.
Business expert and best-selling author of Speaking Game.
Clint Arthur.
Clint, take it.
If you want an audience to be engaged, it helps if you entertain them, and you need them to be engaged if you want to be a great leader. Holy cow! Energy comes off as confidence.
Just do what he says.
Marketing of what you do is 100 times more important than what you actually do.
Bring in Clint Arthur.
The first step to getting people to give you money is to have them pay attention to you.
Everybody thinks they know how to speak because they've been talking their whole lives.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make them a pro. I make 7 figures a year just by talking. And if people would just play the speaking game when they talk, they would have more fun, make more money, conquer their fear of public speaking, and have more impact, influence, and income. It's the bomb. Speaking led me to what I do now, helping other authors, speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs to make their dreams become their reality.
Invest in yourself and in a mentor.
Accept the challenges so that you can feel the exhilaration.
Bam!
You guys want to hear more? Head to Clint Arthur TV.
You are too much. I love it.
Amen.
The message I'm going to share with you today is the exact same message that I have shared with the Entrepreneurship Club at Harvard Business School on the same stage with Suzanne Summers, the most interesting man in the world from the Dos Equis beer commercials, West Point with the leaders of our nation's future, and there I am on the stage with astronaut Buzz Aldrin from Apollo 11, who spoke at that same event. Talked about this at Coca-Cola, at NASDAQ, and at USC's entrepreneurship department. There's a picture of me with my daughter when she was a junior at USC. That was the night I spoke to the entrepreneurs there. And I love that logo because it really sums up your job as anybody who wants to put more money in your pocket, have more impact on the world, or more influence. What you need to do is you need to position yourself as being different and slightly higher status than everybody else who's doing exactly what you're doing. And if you can do that, then you are going to have a much happier life. What this all comes down to is that who you are is much more important than what you actually do. This process of whoing, being a bigger who, is what we commonly refer to in our society as being a celebrity. Here's the good news. I'm not talking about making you into Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Martha Stewart, or George Clooney, or even famous Amos. I can't do that for you. But when you are putting yourself in front of customers and prospects, you need to figure out a way so that you stand out in their eyes as being the only logical and possible choice for them. That's what celebrities do, and that's what you need to do. This is what I do in my little entrepreneurial world, where my wife and I are running a 7-figure business, just the two of us, living the life that a lot of people tell me they want. And I do it by being what I call a celebrity entrepreneur, using my 4 pillars to position myself as a celebrity entrepreneur in the eyes of my customers and prospects. The first technique is what I call celebrity attachment. The second technique is television. The third technique is prestige speaking. And the fourth technique is being a best-selling author. This strategy won me a lot of accolades, including the Infomarketer of the Year award from Dan Kennedy, article recently in the Wall Street Journal about the work that we do, mainly with financial advisors. And this is the part that really excited me. This was a photo one of my clients took of my great mentor, Dan Kennedy, teaching my material at his super conference. When your mentor starts teaching what you're doing to his clients, That is massive. So let's get into the first pillar, which is celebrity attachment. Of course, I've already used this technique on you in the setup of this webinar when I was talking about speaking at Harvard with Suzanne Summers and the most interesting man in the world. I asked Ringo, what's the most important thing you ever learned? He said, to play the drum. Of course, playing the drum got him famous around the world, and his fame has translated into his opportunity to do anything he wants. Mike Tyson was a super cool guy. I asked him, what's the most important thing you ever learned? He said, stay humble. A lot of people think celebrity is about ego. It's not about ego. It's about marketing. That's it. I met Hoda Kotb when one of my clients was on the Today Show, and I went to coach her on the show. Gosh, she has beautiful teeth. Bill Clinton, super powerful, charismatic person. Hillary. As you can see, I am an equal opportunity celebrity selfie slut because really it doesn't matter who you're in the celebrity selfies with as long as it's people that people recognize. That is the power. And I know you're thinking like, well, how does this translate into money? Check this out. Here's a text message of a guy who wanted to see my Rolling Stones pic. Let's just say that he was pretty excited by it. So excited, in fact, that the very next message I got from him was this enrollment. There's a direct correlation, my friends, between celebrity attachment assets and making money. Later in this presentation, I will talk to you about how you can get some major celebrity attachment in the not too distant future. Now, where did this all begin for me? When I was 14 years old, I made up my mind that I was going to go to the Wharton Business School. I thought if I could go to an amazing place like Wharton, the greatest business school in the world, and become somebody special, maybe my parents would stop arguing so much. Did your parents ever argue when you were growing up? With us, it was like, when weren't they arguing? Graduated from Wharton with a 4.0 GPA in my entrepreneurship major, and I come home to get the accolades, and sure enough, they get into the hugest argument of all time. My dad literally storms out of the house, and I turned to my mom and I said, you know, Mom, the way he resents you all these years, have you been cheating on Dad? I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I can't believe you just asked your mom a question like that. What kind of smart aleck kid asks his mom a question like that? And then I'm thinking, why isn't she answering the question? And then she says, he's not your real father. Your real father was a doctor in the fertility clinic we went to for 6 years, and you look just like him. Now, imagine how you would feel if everything you thought you knew about who you were in a split second just went poof. Not only didn't I know who I was anymore, I certainly didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up anymore. So I called the investment banking firm on the 87th floor of number 1 World Trade Center. I said to them, no thanks, guys. I don't want to be an investment banker anymore. I want to figure out who I really am. And I moved out to Hollywood, started going on auditions, writing screenplays, chasing the Hollywood dream. This is what 13 years of chasing the Hollywood dream looks like. On New Year's Eve of the millennium, were you getting Y2K cash out of an ATM? I was driving that cab that night. And in the back seat of the cab were these 2 MBA students who were interns at Goldman. And they were talking, Did you hear about Mr. Carrera? They made him a partner right before the IPO and he cashed out $1 gazillion. I turned around and I go, you guys talking about Chris Carrera? How do you know Mr. Carrera? Chris Carrera was a pledge in my fraternity. When I was pledge master, I used to make those little punks dance around the living room of the house with their tighty whities on top of their heads. And now this guy just cashed out $1 gazillion. That's when I said to myself, this is not worth it anymore. I can't continue chasing this dream. I can't keep doing this to myself. I got to get out of this ditch and get on with my life. I started doing all kinds of personal self-help work. I walked on fire with Tony Robbins. I did Toltec wisdom studies with Don Miguel Ruiz. And sure enough, I got out of taxi driving and started selling butter. Once I started making money, then I met an amazing woman who, luckily for me, believed in me more than I even believed in myself. She really supported my whole butter ambitions. I became the butter king of Las Vegas. She suggested we get into real estate. I built houses. And throughout the 2000s, I got quite fat and happy. I don't look very happy, but I do look quite fat right there. Next thing you know, it's October 2008. You know the world was melting down. And I was at a men's self-help campfire that night. Really was 8 naked guys dancing around a campfire, and I'm one of them. And I see this one guy jump over the campfire, and I noticed he was really hairy. And then I saw the shaman pointing at me across the yellow and orange crackling flames, and he goes, "You don't know it yet, but you're already dead." And I didn't know what he meant. But I couldn't stop thinking about that. I'd wake up out of sound sleep for weeks and months. I'm already dead. What does he mean? And then it came to be New Year's Day of 2009, and I woke up and asked myself a question inspired by the shaman. Man, oh man, that changed my entire life. And the question I asked myself was, if this was going to be the last year of my life, what would I want to accomplish? And I was surprised that the first thing I wrote down was that I would need to write my book about what I learned at the Wharton Business School that helped me to become successful as an entrepreneur once I stopped trying to be a writer and a movie star. And I wrote that book in 8 days, self-published it on Amazon's CreateSpace, waited for the sales to roll in. And boy, did they ever roll in. All 8 of them in 2009 rolled in. So I did something really super smart. I sought out a mentor. His name was Jack Canfield. You might have read one of the 500 million Chicken Soup for the Soul books that he sold, literally. I said, Jack, how do you sell 500 million books? And he said, you got to become somebody famous. People buy books from famous people. And you got to go on TV to do that. And so I started paying a publicist to get me on TV. That was a lot of money. One day my wife says, hey, why don't you keep paying this lady? Why don't you just book yourself on these TV shows? It took me about 2.5, 3 months before I booked my first show. Then after I booked 18 shows, people were like, hey man, you're on fire. How you doing this? Can you teach us how to do this? I have now taught more than 700 authors, speakers, coaches, advisors, entrepreneurs how to book themselves on TV using my mathematical formula for how to get on TV anytime you want for free. You come to my implementation event and you go home having booked yourself on at least 3 TV appearances with ABC, NBC, CBS, or Fox, guaranteed, or you get all your money back plus $1,000. I've never failed, and as a result, my students have booked more than 3,500 television appearances that I'm aware of so far, including all the biggest shows. And that's really how I've made a name for myself.
This is the second time I've been here. So I'm a really busy mom, busy schedule. So what makes someone do the same event twice? Results. This event gives you more transformation than anything else you're going to do. If you want to get booked on TV, if you want to be a celebrity, nobody can coach you like Clint can.
Yeah, that's about Celebrity Launchpad. And I teach my clients the most important thing, which is how do you actually make money from going on TV?
My name is Rick Davis, and I want to tell you what happened to me over my entry into Celebrity Launchpad. I paid attention from one week to the next. I adapted my attire and my smile and became more involved with the client on the TV show that I do on a weekly basis. I had a new builder in who was very limited with his English, but a great builder, that we started talking, and I took over the conversation like I was taught and controlled the meeting for the next 10 minutes. When we got done talking about specifically his house and the meeting they should go to, we sold a $640,000 house for full price within 4 days, thanks to what I learned and how I handled the client on television. Thank you, Clint.
I'm still selling books now because of YouTube television appearances that happened August 2013. You know, so to have something that will continue to drive sales of the Miracle Morning and give me credibility, on and on and on. There's so many benefits. If I have someone that goes, hey, I want to book you to speak, but I've got, like 4 other people that have to make that decision with me, and they've got other people that they want, and they're, you're competing with other people for their attention. I always send them the daytime talk show video. It gives me credibility. I go, oh, show them this. This is my appearance on daytime, and then I'll send them my speaker reel, but I'll say, show them the daytime video first.
You heard him, folks. He sold 65,000 books on Amazon, 15,000 books at the back of the room. How much does your book sell for, Hal?
The retail is $19.95. Amazon does whatever they want, so Amazon sells it for right now $16.
Yeah, but that does not affect your royalty from Amazon.
My royalty is $8 a book.
Do the math. $8 a book, self-published royalty, times 80,000 books. Not bad. Which brings us into the third part of this presentation, which is prestige speaking. And believe me, folks, being a prestige speaker adds a lot of money. I'm running this 7-figure business because of the prestige speaking. I have built my 7-figure information marketing business by paying to speak. That's right, 7 figures. So I think that would put me in the top 5% of all the earners in the National Speakers Association.
No, probably in the top 1%.
I'm pretty successful as a speaker. I pay to speak every single time I get on a stage. I find that's the fastest way to get in front of good audiences. And I am making a lot of money as a result. This came about from Dan Kennedy. And if you've ever seen Dan speak, you have heard him say, when I was speaking in the arenas with the Peter Lowe Success Seminars with Zig Ziglar and George Bush and General Schwarzkopf and Colin Powell and Donald Trump, he always says that. I call that $1 million positioning. And it's $1 million positioning because it says that he spoke in a prestigious place, in this case, in arenas. You don't get to speak in arenas unless you are a very successful person with famous people. Now look at this. That's a ticket from Peter Lowe's Success Seminar. It was the last one, 1997. It's now 2018. Dan Kennedy has been riding on this $1 million positioning for 20 years. That's the power of $1 million positioning. Positioning that will make you money for decades. And I made up my mind, I wanted the ultimate $1 million positioning. I wanted ultimate credibility, ultimate authority, ultimate status. How did I want it? I wanted it from Harvard. And I'll tell you what, I did not want to pay $59,550 a year for tuition at Harvard. I also was interested in speaking at NASDAQ. I saw Grant Cardone speaking at NASDAQ, and I'm like, ooh, I want some of that. And if you look at that slide, it says meet and greet East LA, Thursday, 12 p.m. Pacific time, Sheraton Fairplex Hotel and Conference Center. What does that have to do with NASDAQ? Nothing. It's just the positioning of having been a speaker at NASDAQ, using that as a attention-grabbing photo. There's another one. I wanted a photo like that Grant had. And I came up with ways, man. I'm telling you, it took me 3 years to make this happen. Has our work together been helping you to close new business?
Yes. I had a client I hadn't worked with in about 10 to 12 years. He saw the Harvard video, and he wanted to meet. After the Harvard video, it's a $95,000 deal. What do you think what that video will do for you?
Kevin, how has this been working for you?
It's been a whirlwind since I met you this March. This year I doubled revenues and doubled profits.
That is the power of having Harvard attachment to your personal brand.
Now when someone calls into the call center, we ask them, hey, did you see our CEO on TV or did you hear him speak at Harvard? That has made all the difference and is a direct result of attending Clint Arthur's event. We have quadrupled our sales. In fact, in this quarter, 2017, we've already done more business this year than we did all of last year. So if you're wanting to take your business to the next level or your celebrity status to the next level, you got to get with Clint Arthur.
If you want to have TV or Harvard attachment or NASDAQ attachment guaranteed, any or all of that attached to your personal brand so that you can stand out as being the obvious choice, the only choice for your customers and prospects. This is especially important if you have competition who are selling the exact same products as you or very, very similar products as you. Really, the only difference between you and them is you. And we need to make you a more important who. And I have several different ways to do that, including Celebrity Launchpad, where we guarantee you're going to get on TV, including my $1 Million Business Accelerator at NASDAQ, which gives you ultimate financial expert positioning, priceless marketing assets, all in a day. In one day, you're going to get tons of amazing assets, including 5 minutes to speak at the NASDAQ podium. What are you going to say in 5 minutes? I'll work that out for you. I've got very specific philosophies about what you need to say. We make beautiful 3-camera videos of your 5-minute speech, give you full rights to use it. We make you 75 feet tall on NASDAQ's Times Square Jumbotron. You get the complete contact directory of all my high net worth attendees at your event. You're going to network and mastermind with them. I'm going to train you in how to maximize your NASDAQ ROI, your Harvard speaker ROI. You're going to get bragging rights immediately and forever. A very similar type of event happens at Harvard. It's called the Expert Story Forum. And imagine if you had video and other marketing assets that legitimately attached Harvard to your personal brand, how much more money you'd be making. In 3 days of your life, you'll have a milestone in your career forever that raises your status, authority, positioning, and ability to close big money deals. And Harvard and NASDAQ are just a lot of fun. It's a 3-day party up in Boston with amazing, smart, successful people from all over the world, mostly from the United States, but there are people who come in from everywhere for this event where you're going to become a better speaker, entrepreneur, you're going to get guaranteed marketing assets, you're going to up-level your network. Again, with a video, the complete directory. We have George Ross coming to this event, and we also have Caitlyn Jenner coming to this 2018 event. You're going to network with high net worth thought leaders from around the world, and then we take your speech and make it a chapter in our Thought Leaders book. We've done 25 #1 best-selling books on Amazon. I guarantee this one's going to make you a #1 best-selling author with your chapter in it. And we teach you how to maximize your ROI, how to brag about this immediately and forever, and even give you a live stream for your followers. This will have a massive impact on your bottom line. And the question is, what are you going to do? If you don't do this, what are you going to do to help you to differentiate and stand out from all your competition? Advertise with Facebook ads? Is that going to differentiate you? Do business tweets? Are you going to advertise on Instagram? All those things go away. What I'm offering you is timeless, million-dollar positioning that will endure and work for you for decades. If you got one extra deal out of this, what's an average customer worth to you? I'm personally betting that you could get one deal extra per year, or every 6 months, or even every month, depending on how much you pay attention and really learn how to use these bragging rights and market with these assets effectively. When you do that analysis, you need to decide, is it going to be worth it for you to invest in this opportunity? I think about my whole journey. I just today did my 97th television appearance. I've got 98 scheduled for tomorrow. 99 is on Monday on Fox Los Angeles. And I think about what's been driving me so hard. Why have I spoken at Harvard 3 times? I'm going back for my 4th Harvard event this year. Why have I gone to all these places? And really, it's because I've been hoping that I could get so famous that maybe my real daddy would see me. Maybe daddy would love me. That book you're seeing there is a little children's book I've used to get me on TV in big cities, even in Chicago. And although I've gotten pretty famous, especially in the eyes of my customers and prospects, I still haven't met my biological dad. But the times when I've come closest to healing that wound have been the times when I've gotten to share my unique message on the Today Show or on Fox Business Channel. And the other times when I felt closest to healing that wound have been the times when my clients, my students, many of whom become my very good friends, have gone on to be able to share their unique message and make their unique difference. In every different industry, in every different calling, young and old, newbies or experts, on TV, on stages, local, national, putting money in their pockets, enabling them to have more impact, more influence, to make their dreams come true, personally, professionally, spiritually. If you want this for you, it is not inexpensive, but it is a bargain compared to what you're going to get. The transformation is drastic, rapid, and guaranteed. Go to statusfactory.com to apply for mentorship. I've had a lot of mentors in my life. I'm the only mentor who delivers guaranteed results. If you want to speak and get Harvard attachment, NASDAQ attachment, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, all of it guaranteed, go to statusfactory.com. I'm looking forward to helping make your dreams become your reality.